So we got some good news that came out of California, and I thought it was pretty cool, especially because I'm someone that prefers to have physical media when it comes down to owning my products. So I thought this was something we can go ahead and get into. So California forces digital stores to admit players don't own digital content. Currently, there is no provision in law to stop digital games being removed. So something that was interesting, especially because, like I said, I'm someone that prefers to own physical media. So seeing that this is happening, honestly, it does put a smile on my face, and it is something that I feel like should be starting to kind of make it more, of a common thing to let people know that yeah, you're not actually going to be owning these things if you buy it digitally. So let's go ahead and get into this. So, a new state law in California will force digital storefronts to admit to players that they are simply buying a license for a digital product rather than owning the product. As reported by The Verge, California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a new bill that will forbid digital storefronts from using terms like buy unless customers are explicitly warned that they are paying for a license to a game which may expire at any time, which is very important to know. As retailers continue to pivot away from selling physical media, the need for customer protection on the purchase of digital media has become increasingly more important, California Assembly member Jackie Irwin said in a statement. I thank the governor for signing AB 2426, ensuring the false and deceptive advertisement from sellers of digital media incorrectly telling customers they can own their own purchases becoming a thing of the past. Several high profile companies have taken games entirely offline in recent years, leading to many players to question the legality of removing access to games that people have paid for. And that's one of the things, too, because there have been games that have been taken out in the past where people have done more than just purchase the game itself, but they've actually purchased, let's say, like cosmetics or like a map, like maps to the game, or something where it is like, you do have to pay in order to unlock certain aspects of it. So the fact that people have to pay for that and the games will be taken offline completely, it really questions people on whether they're going to be able to get their money back. More than likely not, because there are some games where it's like, yeah, you may have purchased it and the game's offline, but for the most part, you were able to kind of get your money's worth. But there's going to be plenty of other cases, I'm sure, out there where people are going to feel like, no, even though I paid for it, I still don't believe that it should be able to be taken down. Or if it is, I want a refund on it, kind of a thing. So it's a little bit interesting on where the future is going to lie in that regard, but only time will be able to tell. So let's go ahead and continue on. So in April, Ubisoft took The Crew offline a year after delisting the game. Earlier this month, developer Ivory Tower acknowledged customer complaints over the handling of The Crew. We want to acknowledge that some of you voiced concerns about the access to The Crew games, said Stephanie Bailey, senior creator director of the franchise at Ivory Tower. Today, we want to express our commitment to future of The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest. We are currently exploring the different solutions and can confront an offline mode to ensure long-term access to both titles. Ubisoft, of course, Ubisoft explains its decision to take The Crew offline in a statement issued to VGC last year. After almost a decade of support, we will be decommissioning The Crew 1 on March 31st, 2024. It says, we understand this may be disappointing for players still enjoying the game, but is necessary due to the upcoming server infrastructure and license constraints. So it is one of those things when it does come down to, people purchasing things digitally versus physically. The biggest issue that is always going to be the case is going to be the convenience of it, because it is one of those things. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would very much prefer to just be able to like open up their PlayStation store or go into the Nintendo store or the Xbox, or go onto Steam and just purchase the games there. It's nice because you don't have to do much. You're able to collect it. It's right there in your games library, and then you don't have to actually have like a physical copy at home, which some people actually prefer. Me, like I've said, I prefer to actually own the physical copy. I like being able to hold it. I like being able to look at it. And I like being able to know that if I want to play it whenever I want to play it, I can do so without having to be online or to have, it be a digital form. So again, the convenience is always going to be the biggest factor. At this point, I think people are perfectly fine with the convenience. They like being able to have that available. But as time progresses, I think it is going to be one of those things with certain games shutting down and with, developers deciding to make decisions like this, or not even just shutting it down, but deciding to make changes on the game themselves, with, updates and everything like that. Because regardless of how you feel about owning stuff personally, it is one of those things where, let's say if a game decides to do an upgrade or something like that, an update for the game itself, when you own the physical media, if you don't have internet, that update doesn't go to you. So let's say if it's something you don't want to be changed in the game, all you have to do is just not update the game. I remember that was a big issue with Stellar Blade when they had done the censorship with some of the outfits that the character Eve was able to wear. There was some players out there that were like, you know what, that's fine. If Sony's gonna censor it, they're like, all I'm gonna do is just go home and play it online or play the game offline. So it's one of those things. I'm not gonna update it so I can keep all the cosmetics and all the old stuff before the update went through. So it is gonna be one of those things. I feel like physical media is gonna make a comeback because I heard in a recent podcast as well that things like records, CDs, Blu-ray players, DVDs, stuff like that are starting to really make a comeback because a lot of people are starting to notice that yeah, at this point it's almost better owning physical media, especially with like, streaming services becoming the way that they are. A lot of people are getting really annoyed with the fact that in order to watch a movie, you have to go online, you have to see which streaming service has it. You have to figure out whether you have that streaming service, and then if you want to pay for it just to be able to watch a certain movie or a TV show. And the whole point of it is the convenience, but when it comes down to stuff like that, it starts to become very inconvenient, which can start to bite them in the butt, which will really make it so that people are really going to start going for physical media again. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think this is a good thing that California is doing this? If you guys do believe this is a good thing, do you think this should start making its way to other states as well? Personally, I think it should, because I don't like the deceptiveness of them trying to make it seem like you're going to own the games when they know that that won't be the case. But those are my thoughts. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.